Hey you guys, I just wanted to thank everyone who supported Cordoba Organics. This is an example. First of all, thank you to my husband for taping this for me real quick. And this is just an example of what I've made, over the today's Monday, Saturday and Sunday. And actually products went out on Saturday. So this is really just from Saturday afternoon to Sunday evening. Today is Monday, and usually I just run and jump, throw all of these into envelopes and try to get them out before 1 o'clock, just because I like to know that they're out with the shipment of the day. But I need to start taking more time to just show gratitude and be grateful for how much I've been able to consistently produce without a great amount of I would say social media, like interviews and or help. And I think a while ago I really did want to gauge and test how I can grow my business without necessarily relying solely on social media. Not to say that anything's gonna happen to Instagram or Twitter or any of these things, but I wanted to take a little chance and invest in myself and say, okay, let's see how I can grow my business without using or relying on social media. God forbid anything were to happen on Instagram or Twitter. I don't necessarily want my sales to drop, but that's just thinking outside the box. I know more people are like, what are you doing? Use social media. But again, to really focus on products going out within 3 days. I like getting them out 1 to 3 days. And if ever they are gonna be longer than 3-day track, me writing someone and saying, hey, let's say you order on Monday, I'll write you on Wednesday or Thursday letting you know your products are in the mail. So that's a 3-day turnover. That's something that I've really prided myself on and have really wanted to stay consistent in. Another thing I wanted to talk about real quick was just being aware of labels and how certain companies might, I call it cheat labels or cheat sheets, but you don't ever want to cheat or be dishonest with what you have in your products. So the reason why, for example, if I grab a lemonade, which is an amazing bestseller, and all my products come between 16, oh, you're such a sweetheart, 16 ounces to 2 ounces, right? So you got 2, 8, 4, and 16. I wanted a lot of variety, and I wanted them to be in plastic jars just so that people wouldn't drop them on an accident. When you come out your shower, or when you are, for instance, myself, I have a son that swims 4 to 5 times a week now. And because of that, I just like throwing certain stuff in my bag and making sure they don't break. So I pride myself on not having everything in glass. The only products I have in glass, you can keep it right there, sweetheart, is like the cherry drops, the cherry oil, and or like the banana serum in 2 ounces. I'll put in these nice little glass droppers just because they're more delicate and dainty, and I don't feel like, people are gonna drop them when they're using them. But all of my ingredients, you can leave the cats alone. My husband is spraying the cats because they never are in this room when I'm doing stuff. So they're mad hype and they're near the plants. I'm always watching them near my plants because they'll go crazy. Anyway, labels. I put a lot of everything on that I use in my products on a label, because God forbid anybody has an allergen to like cherry oil or banana or anything, you want them to be on the actual label. What I've noticed the last couple of months, and people that I sell products to will sometimes write me and be like, wow, did you see this? Like, this company has the same name as one of your products, like a company that's called, it doesn't even matter, but like Foy or Dew or Sunkiss. 10 years ago, I really did the research to make sure that none of the names that I was using on my products were ever used on products before. So that's something I wanted to pride myself on, just so that I wouldn't duplicate or use someone else's name that was on a product of theirs. So I did my research, and this company started, Amore was 2 years old, so that's 2010. It's 2022. You'd be like, wow, I thought you would be in magazines or be famous by now. You gotta know what you're invested in, and because none of my products are made by a factory, everything is made by my hand. That's something that it's so detail oriented You don't ever want to miss on the ingredients in anything. Like Rosemary's Baby has fresh stalks of rosemary in it, and I wanted to keep that like that because that's the recipe that I found to really, really work over time. And he's spraying the cats as he's holding the video camera. I love you, honey. He's spraying the cats with a spray bottle as he's doing this. So I'm real like, I don't want the camera to be shaky. You know, you try to upgrade in little ways. So I'm really grateful. What I was trying to express though, I noticed a lot of companies are starting to fit. Like my blue rice hairspray is blue from blue tansy oil, blue spirulina, but it doesn't, let me let you know something. You cannot extract a liquid from crystals. So a lot of companies are like, oh, this is, you know, lazuli oil, and, you know, this is made with real lazuli, and they try to like sell lazuli oil, or it's a purple concoction, and they're like, oh, this has got amethyst oil. You cannot extract oil from a rock. It won't work. I don't care how long you infuse it, how long you diffuse it, sit it in. It is not something you can do. So they're actually putting some type of colorant or additive in their products, which is what they want to do. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? But don't lie. Marketing is twofold. A lot of people will lie about their marketing or lie to market products. And I just think that that's really dishonest. You want to be honest with your customers and let them know, like, I don't care if it's a black collie, you cannot extract hematite oil from hematite, or, you know, adventurine oil, and make it seem as though you're selling adventurine oil as though that is what's making it that color. No, they're putting a mica, a formica, a colorant in it, and those are preservatives. The same thing if you read certain labels. If the first ingredient is like water, and then it's glycerin, and then it's like polypenoxol, monochronoxol. These are preservatives that will, I guess, create a longer shelf life because they haven't figured out how to lengthen the shelf life of products with actual herbs. And herbs will do so, but it can take a couple of years to figure out how to have something be like, you know, good for 3 to 5 years. The same thing. This is green. This is J Jam. You don't even have to move your hand, handsome. I'll move up to you. The J Jam is green like this because it actually has chlorophyll in it. How did I do that? That's the science of the recipe that took me years to figure out how to do, so that you're not dyeing your hair as you're using it. But I noticed that using certain herbs will, like this year, I'm 45. I have a couple of grays, maybe 3 or 4, but I'm grateful because all of my new growth, you know, all of what you see on my hair, I didn't cut bangs or like rip up the front of my locks in order to have a bang. What I started doing was not twisting all of my new growth. And they started off really like little small springlets, and then they got longer. I never thought that this would become a fashion thing, or like, you know, I was watching something the other day called Cosmic whatever, and the girl had, you know, her fake locks, faux locks, and then her bang in the front. I was like, oh my God, that's my hairstyle. Now let me let you know, I don't even think that people are doing this after me. I just think that it, you know, it spread in social media, and a lot of other people started styling their hair with having curly, like afro, you know, their curlies, and then their faux locks. Now, when I've actually out here, I've met my postal lady has really, really long, beautiful faux locks, you know, like my length, but they're faux locks. And when I first met her, I was like, oh, I love your hair. And she like looked at me like I was joshing with her, but I really do love when people make decisions to put like fake hair that looks like my real. Why? Because it's spreading the energy of that this could be fashionable, that this is still pretty. And let me let you know, the first 10, 15 years, 20 years of growing my hair, it was not like out the gate ease where people could see the vision of what I was trying to do. Sometimes I'd get teased, why isn't all your hair like the front of your hair, or why don't you? And I was like, because that's not the way it's growing. And rather than taking that personal, it's like, you know, a lot of people have an opinion about how your hair grows. And the reason why I can tell a faux lock is because they're so pristine. They're so like yarned up. That's not the way real locks grow. Your real locks are gonna be matted. They're gonna be different sizes. They're gonna not all like frail at the end. Like a couple of celebrities will have locks, but now they're extending them by putting like fake hair at the end of each lock to make them longer and make them look curly, or, you know, whatever, I guess, style they want them to look like. But you don't have to do that. You can just grow your own hair, and I'm not even knocking that. That's a great style. It's just not something that I ever entertained. So I really just always wanted to spread the energy that people can still have fashionable, you know, clean looking hair based on how much they clean it and how they take care of it. But you don't have to put anything fake in your hair. So all of this is new growth. And because of my new growth, I didn't want my new growth to be gray. I didn't want all of the stress that I've endured about like to necessarily come through my hair. So a lot of that is based on your diet, juicing, and really just, you know, I don't eat any meat. But the other day I even talked about veganism. And of course, being a vegan, you don't eat any meat, right? You don't eat any chicken, turkey, beef, pork, ham, salami, prosciutto, veal, lamb. You don't eat any meat. But you are also not eating lactose. You're not eating dairy. So I don't know how that changed. He's switching the camera booth. But you don't eat dairy. I do eat a little dairy. I wanted, as I got older, I didn't want my boobs to get smaller and smaller. I wanted to keep a little bit of, you know, fluffiness in my body. So I started eating fresh mozzarella and just cheese on like pizza and stuff. I stopped pulling all of it off and just eating pizza with sauce. But those were decisions that I wanted to make just to, you know, have a little body fat on me as I've gotten older. When I was younger, I used to be on a strict raw food. I did raw food for like 3 years straight. And then as soon as I started losing a lot of body fat, that's when I wanted to be honest with myself and say, okay, this is healthy and I feel great. I only need 4 hours of sleep and my skin is perfect, but I don't want to look so prepubescent. So that was the decision I made for myself. And again, you can practice what you want. Right now I eat fish, so I do eat, a little bit of red snapper, wild mahi-mahi. I'll eat like once a week. I try to have a nice little piece of fish just to keep my omegas outside of doing like fish oil. I don't ingest a lot of vitamins because vitamins can have a two-pronged effect. They can really constipate you if you're not drinking liquid vitamins, but if you're doing like a Floridex, like a nice liquid vitamin, it's great to boost your calcium. But again, those are all liquid herbal-based vitamins. So the Tepes Cohuite, excellent for people with scarring skin or for people that want to shave a lot. Like if you are shaving your legs and underneath your arms, Tepes Cohuite is a great herb that basically calms ingrown hairs and will allow you to have like really smooth, even out skin tone. So that's for that. Then I have, of course, my long selling. A lot of people, again, yellow number 5, no colorants are in any of my products, no fragrances. So if you smell like, you know, something that smells like fresh pineapple, they're kind of not being honest. You can't make anything smell like fresh fruits except I've noticed strawberry and blueberry. You can extract those and distill those, but that goes through a dehydrator. It goes through a couple different processes, and I had to figure that out because I really did want the effects, the healing effects of strawberry and of blueberry and of black currant. I use black currant in my bilberry jam as well as my bilberry butters. Bilberry is great because if you have like a skin tone that's a little bit uneven, it will really create another evening effect. So you have a couple of evening like smoothing things. That's the banana face alchemy as well as the banana oil, really great for uneven skin tone, as well as the Tepes Cohuite, as well as the coffee bomb, as well as the bilberry body butter. Bilberry, blackberry, strawberry, blueberry. You can extract and distill all those into your products. thank you to this show that makes liquor. I actually learned how to distill certain stuff by paying attention to this show that teaches people how to like make their own liquor, like infuse vodka and rum and all that. That was so fascinating to me. And a couple years ago, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get on and figure out. And that's exactly what I did. But like the coffee bomb and the Virgo, really great because everything that you smell in my products are made with essential oils. But I don't use 1 or 2 essential oils in anything. I use maybe like 4 or 5 and put like 30 to 40 drops in each. So I mean, or in like whatever vat I'm making everything in. And then again, I don't pre-package stuff. So based on what people order is based on how I bottle products. So I can't really gauge, okay, this week 30 people are gonna order 2 ounces and 40 people are gonna order 16. Like a lot of the 16 ounces that I have, a lot of people got 16 ounces this weekend. So you got your 16 ounce of everything, but I don't pre-jar that because God forbid they're not ordered, then they're just sitting in jars for a couple days, and that's not what I want to happen. So the Tepes Kokuite, I showed you the body wash, but I also have the body balm, which is made with fig extract, chamomile, the Tepes Kokuite, all the stuff to calm and to close open pores. Same thing like with the Revive. The Revive is made with a black, not black, what do you call it? I gotta look on it real quick. I just forgot the name of it. Cumin, black. That's what I said black for. Black cumin seed oil. And black cumin seed oil, you know, is already great for hair growth. It's great for your skin. It's great for liver, kidney, for all of that stuff. But also just to raise like your cellular levels. I try thinking of like, wow, what I ingest, which is clove oil as well as black cumin seed oil. If I can ingest that and drink it and it, you know, keep colds away and flus and all that, then I want to be able to figure out how to put that in a product to help our skin. And black currant and excellent. You can leave them more. Excuse me, Asir. It's okay. You hear that? That's him spraying them. So that's for that. Same thing with like Goji Guru. I have the Pisces and the Hair Magic. Let me just get up real quick. Pisces, the Hair Magic. You can stay right there, sweetheart. So the blueberry, I talked about the strawberry. There's a little strawberry body butter, but this is the blueberry again. I picked up a couple 16 ounces just to show you an example of what I was talking about. I could engage that Saturday, a lot of people would, you know, purchase 16 ounces, but that's how I know, okay, I need to make a larger vat of this. So I'll make it by hand and then I'll bottle it so that I don't have everything just overproduced, right? So that's the blueberry, as well as the Pisces. The Pisces is dope because it's got a lot, the mandarin, the cataphragm, the lang lang, the lime, the orange oil. There's a couple of things I wanted to kind of make special about my products. And what I wanted to do was not follow a lot of simpleton recipes, meaning like even when I cook, sometimes I'll use like red onion, garlic, parsley, you know, a couple different ingredients to make something really flavorful. So I kind of carry that into making products. Same thing with like the Hair Magic as well as the musical, I can pick this up, the musical hairs, right? The musical hairs and the Hair Magic, what makes them special is that they have more than like 9 different herbs and 8 different essential oils in each, just to create a smell that couldn't be reproduced. So even if you're looking at the ingredients, you're not really sure of how much, and I really wanted to be aware of this when I was, you know, making products, because so many people copy recipes and so many people, oh, that's a great idea, I'm gonna do that. But people have let me know it smells different. You know, I got something that was pineapple and it smelled, you know, broke me out. I felt itchy because they're actually using fragrances. So if you read anything with fragrances and you do have skin sensitivities, you want to just be aware and kind of stay away from products like that because you'll break out. I really have sensitive skin, but I also have a lot of keloids and a lot of hypertrophic scars. And you know, like if you look on the center of my nose, I have a chickenpox scar from like when I was 6 years old. And it's faded a lot over the years, but I wanted to figure out, how do I fade my scars? How do I create an even skin tone, even with a really big knee scar? Like, there's gotta be a way that I can have even skin tone without, you know, compromising the healing process of my scars. So it really, being in the sun, they used to be jet black, like really, really dark. And that was just because they were really fresh still, and I had to figure out what to use long term. So like the Victory Rose is so dope because it's got so many, let me tell you about Turkish rose oil and Hungarian rose oil. They're really expensive, but they're expensive for a reason. So in having this along with a lot of calendula and a lot of chamomile, really great. Like this product also comes, I have a product called Face, which is great for your face at night and great for your baby's face, and great for infants because it doesn't have any essential oils in it. And I wanted to think of creating, after I made Victory Rose, I was inspired to create a product that didn't have any essential oils in it and that would be really good for newborns. And really, let me tell you another thing. All my products are good for infants and babies. Nothing will make you allergic or anything. They're great for children, especially kids with eczema and a lot of like itchy psoriasis that comes from using a lot of water-based, a lot of stuff that's actually drying for your skin. The only time you should really have water in anything is when you take a shower or a bath. It's great to sometimes spritz and spray when your skin is still a little bit moist. You can apply a product onto it like Tiger Stripes because nothing is made with shea butter. What ends up happening is there's it completely absorbs into your skin right away. And I'm not saying that some people that use shea butter don't have that problem or issue. I just noticed when making my products, it was a different, I want to say like a different viscosity, a different texture. And I just wanted to challenge myself. Like, everybody has shea butter, I'm gonna not. I'm gonna make everything outside of shea butter, and then that opened me up to like horsetail butter and jojoba butter and a whole bunch of other healing butters that I could use in my products that would really change the feeling of them. So this is gonna be sealed. Okay, no, it's not. So when the sealing sometimes comes off, they're made with a really good lid. But oh my gosh, this smells amazing because it's made with spearmint oil, and that kind of hides the cardamom smell. But Tiger Stripes and the spearmint oil, I had one down here, or even like the pineapple turmeric alchemy, really great for people with broken out skin, as well as the rose clay and the kelp help, right? Let me grab these two real quick. The rose clay and the kelp help are dope, along with the banana face alchemy and the pineapple face wash, because each one kind of does serve a different purpose. But you can't really, and this is something I'm so proud of, a lot of people haven't figured out, thank God, how to make face washes and body washes using herbs and using certain products like kelp, like spirulina, things that are really great for your skin long term. And a lot of people skip those steps because it takes too much time. All of this was just this weekend, but it really takes a lot of time. And of course, I would love mass produced and mass production, but I gotta find that without compromising the quality of my products. So again, you know, you don't compare. This is the spearmint time. The reason why I called it that was because it smells, and look, the label looks like candy. It smells just like a spearmint, those green and white. You know how you have your peppermints that are red and white, the spearmints is green and white. They smell just like the spearmint candies you would cheat on in church and all that when you were a kid. And this is an amazing hair oil because it's a lot different than the rosemary's oil. It doesn't have rosemary in it, but it's got a lot of thyme oil and clove. It's so dope for your hair growth. And again, when you try different stuff like the banana face alchemy, you're gonna feel the difference between this and the rose clay and the kelp help, but they all can be interchangeable. And every product is interchangeable, no matter if you're a Pisces, Scorpio, like I have the Scorpio body butter down here, the Scorpio wash. This is made with heavy amounts of peppermint and geranium and Hungarian rose oil and like 2 other essential oils that you can read on the bottle. But again, how to make stuff so special that no one can really reproduce or recreate the label. That was something that I really am grateful for and had a lot of pride in doing. Same thing with the pit stops. The pit stops was made with so much manoi as well as arrowroot and baking soda because I wanted to be able to create a product that I could be proud of, that really works under your arms but that doesn't cause irritation after you shave. I notice a lot of times after I would shave or wax and then use a product, I would be itchy. This negates that, and it's really great for lightening up your dark spots under your pits. So you don't want to raise your arms and have like a totally different color armpit than your arm. Like, that's ridiculous. But not to diss anybody that does, it's just you haven't come across certain products that can help with that yet. Same thing with the acai cinnabon, made with so much cinnamon oil and clove. It's really a process in using like 8 to 10 different herbs, as well as a whole bunch of acai, as well as like these, for example, the hibiscus hair oil. This is like something that I can't live without because the smell, first of all, is a combination of like 4 essential oils that smell so euphoric, and you'll kind of sense that in the blue rice hairspray because I did use a similar recipe in terms of the essential oil drops, because I also like creating stuff that has fluidity. So like the blue rice hairspray as well as the blue rice hair shampoo have the same essential oils in it because it's themed. I wanted to keep that as a theme. You know, there's a box set of the blue rice hairspray, the blue pudding, and the blue rice hairspray, blue pudding, and one other product. I forgot right now. Blue rice hairspray, the blue pudding, and the blue, I forgot. There's so many damn products. And this is another thing. Sometimes people write me and tell me, oh, how much? I don't have all my products memorized in terms of the prices. That's what the website is there to help me do, because I do gauge it based on how much each product costs. Oh, the blue shampoo, blue rice hairspray, the blue pudding, and the blue shampoo. Those are sold as a trifecta little set. Same thing with the hibiscus hair oil. Kind of has a similar scent to the hibiscus body butter because it's using the hibiscus combination that I really found and was like, I gotta recreate this in a body butter. Same thing with the sun. See, this is something that I can't pay someone to do, but I see a little bubble in the label, and what I'll do real quick, because they're waterproof and they're really expensive labels, I just pull the label off a little to make sure that little wave that was in the label is removed. And those are things, those are details that sometimes, you know, an employee might overlook or somebody might overlook because it's really very Virgo specific. This is what I will say. So like the star anise oil, the healing energy of anise, not only for your belly, but for your hair growth and for the sealant of your hair. And I also noticed that anise is really good at removing, like, if you grow locks, you're gonna have little pieces of lint and all that other stuff because it's locked. It's your hair. Unless someone is sitting there and combing out your locks every week and retwisting them, your hair is gonna attract certain energy that like you might sit on or sleep in. So for myself, I don't cover my hair when I go to sleep. It's actually too long and too thick, and it'll feel like a really uncomfortable pillow that I'm sleeping on. So I do a lot of stuff during the day and sleep only on 100% cotton. I don't even really do silk sheets because they have a different, they don't absorb sweat the same way 100% cotton does. And so I like a lot of covers and a nice AC at night. The AC keeps the more really sleeping, but I get cold. So having heavy covers on top of that, I want to make sure that my skin can still breathe. So I only use 100% cotton sheets. And Asir put me on to like, you know, just having certain textures on your body. I really thankfully can say that I don't wear like polyester driven clothes or anything that doesn't allow your body to breathe, because it does have an effect on your lymph nodes and your skin and how it sweats and all that. So, you know, I just wanted to take a second to share some of these products again, but to also remind people that, you know, the reason why, like on this, I'll have over, you know, 20 different ingredients, because you never want to find yourself in a situation where you're not honest about what's in it. And then someone's like, oh, you put almond oil, I'm allergic, First of all, you can have a nut allergy but not be allergic to almond oil, or be allergic to macadamia but not be allergic to the oil. We discovered that a little while ago, but it's also different than ingesting it. The nut, the actual creating the coarseness of your mouth and the saliva and swallowing an actual whole nut to process it into like almond flour is different than almond oil. They're still almond based, but the extraction process is different. And it's like some people that are allergic to egg yolks but aren't allergic to the actual egg white. So it's kind of interesting to do the knowledge to stuff like that. But, you know, again, you want to be really honest with people. And I just wanted to remind people that you cannot extract liquid from crystals. So all the crystal infusion that I have done, it's basically to kind of create a higher octave product, a higher organ energy in your product. It's like a seer does, you know, with certain people. He'll throw a penny on my forehead and be like, you see, it sticks on your forehead because it's magnetized. Your pineal gland, your pituitary gland are charged. And there's certain people that it'll slide right off. And I oiled my skin the other day, put all this oil on my face and then slipped the penny on it to see if it would slide off. And it did not. I could tip my head forward and the penny stayed on my head. And I was quite surprised with that because I thought, oh, I got oil on my face. It's going to definitely come off. And it did not. So again, for like the Pisces, the Libra, the Scorpio, the Capricorn, so many of them have vetiver to help you sleep in it. So many of them, and they were made based on the herbal properties of each astrological sign. That took over a year to create, but then a year to share with everyone because I wanted to stay so on point with having a new label and a new design and a new everything for each month. So now that that's done, I'm grateful to be able each month now, the set is sold. So last year was just introducing the one product, and now this year I'm combining them so you get the Libra wash as well as the body butter in one fell swoop. So that's just to challenge myself to keep things new and abreast on the website as well. I add everything on the website myself, as well as all the labels, all the label designs. I created all of the labels. That's the hardest, one of the hardest things is for me to check my drawer every day and to make sure they don't drop below 20. Because it takes about 3 to 5 days for each label to turn over and you to receive them from the printing press. But because they're all waterproof, you know, I can't print them on something in my home. I do have to outsource where I get my labels from, but they have the designs of everything. So I just let them know how many I need. That's the hardest thing to balance because it's over 65 different labels. So I got to make sure that I don't run out of anything so that whenever someone orders something, the label's actually there to put on it. So that was just a little love. The Goji Guru goes really great with the Blue Rice Guru. And the Goji Guru and the Blue Rice are a little bit more like, because it's got the pomegranate, the cherry, and it's got like so much goji oil, so much, and that's something that I was able to figure out how to distill and extract. But that's like even with the rice spray, you know, I keep a lot of the ingredients in the bottle so people could really see the brown rice in it. But also, you know, that's how I make it. So when I'm actually pouring it out, sometimes I just leave a couple of the flakes at the bottom so that people could really see that this is made with this actual stuff in it. Same thing with the herbal hibiscus and the anise and the rosemary and the Gemini. The Gemini body wash is so unique because, again, if you read all the essential oils that goes into making them smell so euphoric and great, there's no fragrances in anything. I don't want anybody to ever experience any itchiness from a fragrance. And if I itch from a fragrance, then I know that you will. So everything can be used everywhere, down bottom, up top, on your face as a shampoo, which is why they're called body wash shampoos, because you can use them everywhere. And the Gemini's got the fresh rosemary in it, but it's also got lavender and bergamot and frankincense and a little bit of lime to cut the same thing with the Virgo body wash or the Tepes. The Tepes has got the fresh chamomile as well as the Tepes cohuite in it. And those are details that I notice a lot of people will skip over, and what makes Cordoba Organic so unique and incredible. So it ain't just me, but it's also just not skipping the recipe process and not skipping all of the stuff that goes into making all of it. And of course, you know, when you're not famous, when you're not in any magazines, or of course I would love a write-up in a magazine. I laughed that I was in a magazine when my locks weren't even shoulder length. But years later, as I became more self-reliant, I stopped focusing on so much outsourcing. So, I'm sure it would be great to have a marketing team that just focused on writing different companies about how much Cordoba Organics provides for people, and really the variety, and why I wanted to create a little bit of a metaphysical balance, because there is a science behind all of these herbs and all of every sign, but you still want to make them purposeful and palpable for regular people. You want to make it like where it's not so avant-garde that no one can think of, oh, that's not going to work. That's just some hoodoo. No. Everything is really tactful and purposeful and has an intent behind each product. But again, how to make it where anybody that might not have ever read about an astrological anything or know anything about herbs could still say, you know what, I want to take the plunge and try this. And why, I really will could be in a mass test, and you can put my products against I could smell which one is mine, tell you the texture, because it's made with so much different herbs and butters that aren't shea based, I can feel the difference in something that isn't mine right away. And that's something that I really am grateful and have pride in. So, take your time doing anything that brings you love, whether it's writing a song, creating a portrait or a photo or a picture, what makes it uniquely yours. And so even though I might not be, blasted or get on any, I also have to think of how much has grown based on just word of mouth, and how many of you guys have spread how it's helped your children's skin. Someone just wrote me the other day like, yo, I can't use anything else on my son's skin except your products. And things like that keep me motivated regardless of the popularity and of, I don't even have time to create Facebook pages for my business, and because when you're really making sure your products go out in 3 days, no matter 80 orders or 100 orders, the longest people have waited is like 5 to 7 days. And that's when I had, maybe was on Seer did Brother Rich's show, and thank God Brother Rich, was able to talk about the products on that type of a platform that I might not have, because it did spread, and my orders went from like 60 to 150 overnight. And even then, I pulled a couple overnighters just to make sure people weren't waiting more than a week for their products. It's something that I really pride myself on, and just being able to write everybody personally and thanking them for. And also my lip balms, I just found a label that I'm proud of for that, but designed a label. But long story short, I make those on the weekends, just 150 to 300 of them at a time, just so that people have a little bonus in every package they get. Whether they order just 1 2-ounce product like this, you're gonna get a free vanilla lip chap in your order. And that's something else that I really am grateful to be able to say, I've been able to provide for people. So, CordobaOrganics.com, the first day of Virgo, the 22nd, next week, I'm just really wanting to start doing more on camera and just thanking people. So I'm going to get these out in some envelopes so I don't fall behind. And again, thank you guys for taking the time to listen and spread the knowledge and the love. And CordobaOrganics.com, your stuff will go out 1 to 3 business days, and it will get to you based on, priority. First class mail sometimes takes 3 to 4 days, but people are getting their stuff so quickly, and, it's expensive. I don't really want to charge people $12 for shipping through UPS. Some people have specific requests, and I'll fulfill those. But other than that, 1 to 3 days after it's shipped to your door. So thank you so much. CordobaOrganics.com. I love you all, and I'm back to making products. Peace.